Hello students. So welcome all of you for strength of material class. In today class we are going to discuss about thermal stresses. So let us see. So, what is the thermal stresses? As you all know, the thermal means due to the change in the temperature or due to the heat. Obviously, if heat will be there, then definitely the temperature will be increased. So, due to the change in temperature or due to heat, there will be stress or there will be stress produced in a particular object or in particular any bar, you can say steel bar, or in any kind of object, then that will be comes under the thermal stresses. So we can say that when due to change in temperature, right? That can be supply of heat So due to change in temperature, you can supply heat, or you can supply cool. There is not a problem as well. So or you can supply the cool as well. So due to change in temperature, the temperature can be go cool as well or can be increase as well. So due to change in temperature, the stresses produced this comes under thermal stresses. Now, my dear friends, in this thermal stresses, we are going to be discuss about a bar. That bar, how that bar can be, how many possible ways to that bar can be expanded. So let us suppose, or this thermal temperature is going to be, so let us suppose we have a bar. Let us suppose we have a bar. If I am going to be supply any Q means heat. If I am going to supply any Q, then definitely there will be a change in the temperature. So the change in temperature means delta T. Change in temperature. So the change in temperature, what it will affect? So with change in temperature, definitely this bar, this is a steel bar. This steel bar is going to be expand. Why I am using the word expand? Because this particular thing is happening without any kind of external forces. If there will be any external forces, due to external forces, there will be a change in the dimension that will be come under the extension. And due to the thermal expansion or due to the thermal energy or due to the any other energy, there will be a change in the dimensions of the object that will be come under the expansion. So here I am using the word expansion. So this particular bar will elongate something like this. Yes, if temperature will increase, then definitely this bar will be definitely increase something. So this particular bar will increase, then definitely that particular distance that can be called as the delta, right? So I can say it as a delta. So this increase in the length is happening. This increase in the length happening due to which? Due to change in the temperature. So while this temperature is changing, we are getting some expansion. So this particular region is the expansion region. Expansion. So here this is the expansion happened, and now our particular case is that how we are going to be measure this particular delta value. What is this expansion? Already you have seen that due to the forces, either that is the compression forces, either that is the tension forces, due to these forces already we calculated the delta value, and what is that delta value is PL divided by A. In the earlier lecture we have discussed that if any force is applying in any member, due to this, if there will be a change in the length, that will comes under the delta again, and this is also the delta, and this delta will be calculated with the formulation of PL divided by A. Now in this particular thing we know, but due to the change in the temperature, this expansion, what is the particular value of this delta, that we have to be know. So before going forward, we have to be understand one thing, that if we are going to be increase this particular temperature, then definitely earlier the particular length was L, and after that the length is changed, that is going to get delta. So definitely we are going to get from here delta L divided by L, and you all know that change in length, this is your change in length, either you can say delta as well, not a problem, no need to be say delta L, that's delta, change in length divided by original length, and what is that? That is the strain. So it is a strain. So I got my strain value, right? So I got from here that in this particular object there will be a strain. So we have the strain delta divided by L. Now my dear friends, this strain is producing how? It is producing due to the change in temperature. So what is the meaning of that? If temperature is increasing, if delta T is increasing, what is happening? This delta value is also more. If this delta will be increased more, this particular delta value will also increase more. So due to change in temperature, or the change in temperature is increasing, then the delta is also increased. So what can I say from this? So from here I can say that delta T is directly, or I can say that xi is directly proportional to delta T. If delta T is increasing, then xi is also increasing. Getting my point? So this is the particular relation we got from here, from this. So my dear friends, if this is the relation, then from here I can write one thing. What can I write from here? If I will remove this directly proportional symbol, then what I will get from here? Xi is equal to delta T, right? If I am removing this particular directly proportional, definitely I need some particular constant or coefficient value that can be balance the equation. So here I will get the coefficient value that is called as alpha to remove the directly proportion. So I got from here alpha delta T. This is your alpha. And what is this alpha value is? So if I am going to be, what is this alpha is? This alpha is your thermal coefficient we can say thermal coefficient or coefficient of thermal expansion. Right? Anything you can say. So we got the thermal coefficient from here, that is the alpha. Now my thing is that what is the alpha? So let us solve the alpha for more, to get more simplification. So I can write from here alpha is equal to xi divided by delta t. So from here I got this particular relation. So from here I can write this down. From here also I can write this down. So from here I can write it down. What can I write down from here? I got the units of the alpha. What is the units of alpha? So let us solve it. So you all know that xi don't have any units, no units, and divided by that delta T, that is the change in temperature. So we all know temperature units, degree Celsius. So I am going to get from here alpha, how much unit is that? Per degree Celsius. So this is the units for alpha. So you please write it down, alpha units. Now my dear friends, we got the unit for this. Now in this particular thermal species, we have to talk about some cases that is related to civil engineering field. So in this we are going to take one bar concept, and we are going to solve some number of cases for that. Before, as all of you know, this thermal expansion or this thermal stasis is a topic of mechanical engineering. That is earlier we already know that the heat and this heat transfer, that is the topic of mechanical engineering. So we will not discuss as very wide, but we will discuss one topic of that. So let us discuss that topic. So let us say we will discuss first case. So let us say my first case is, free expansion. My first case is free expansion. So how to calculate the free expansion? So let us say a prismatic bar. So we have a prismatic bar, that is a homogeneous bar as well. So we have a prismatic bar. So we have a prismatic bar, and what bar? Yes. So we have a one prismatic bar. The bar having length L, right? So this bar having the length L. So let us supply some heat, and this bar is freely moving bar. So we can say that no constraints applied. So what is the meaning of no constraints applied? Means at the both end it is free. It is freely moving. If I will give force in any this side or this side, it will be freely expand. I am not giving any kind of support here or any kind of restriction. So there is no restriction. So there is no any kind of restriction, or there is no any kind of constraint in that. So it is freely moving anywhere. It can be moved with the application of any external force. So let us say now, so constraints applied. So let us say supply heat Q to the bar. So let us supply some heat to the bar. So for example, I have supplied some heat, that is the Q, to the bar. Due to heat, due to Q, there will be change in temperature. So if the temperature will change, then due to this Q, I will get from here delta T. So delta T is change in temperature. And you all know that how to calculate change in temperature. You will know that the initial temperature minus, the final temperature minus initial temperature is equal to delta T. That is the delta T. Final temperature minus initial temperature. This is your final temperature, and this is your initial temperature. Now, my dear friends, we have the delta T. Now, if we have given the temperature, or if we have given the heat, the temperature may be changed, or the temperature change. Due to that, what happened? Due to this, this particular bar will be expanded. So this bar got expansion. So let us say this expansion is having the value delta. So it is expand delta. So I will write due to delta T, bar expand delta. So due to expands delta. So due to change in temperature, the bar expands up to the length of delta. So let us say, now if it expands up to the delta, so what will be now my delta? So let us calculate my delta value. So how we can calculate the delta value? So let us see. We have, so let us see, we all know, as we know, what we know that? So as we know that the delta T is equal to, the xi is equal to alpha of delta T. So if delta T will increase, then what is happening? L is changing to delta. So change in length is coming, that's why it is xi. So xi you all know, change in length divided by length. So what is happening over here? So I can put the xi value. I know what is my xi value because I know my xi value. So I know xi is equal to delta divided by L. This is my xi value. So from here I can write it down. What can I write down? Delta L is equal to alpha delta T. And if I will solve this particular value, so what I am going to get? So from I can write here, from there I can write here, delta is equal to alpha delta T. So what is that? This is my, this value I got. So I got the delta value, this particular delta value I got, how much? Alpha delta T. And what is this case? So this case is for this value of delta is for free expansion. No constraints. So no constraints. Now let us calculate the stress for this particular bar as well. So if I am going to talk about the stress here, so we all know what is the stress. So what is the stress, my dear friends? What is the stress? So stress means sigma is equal to what? Resistant force force divided by area. I have the area of bar, but there is no any resistant force is acting in this bar. It is freely moving. So resistant force is not there. So if resistant force is not there, it means sigma is equal to 0. There is no any sigma. So this is very important point. You have to highlight this point for freely moving bar. Bar, no stresses produced. Right? So this is very important point that you have to be, if in any gate question or in any way the question will come, if a freely moving bar having the length 4 meter and getting the deflection or the getting the expansion 0.5 meter and having the delta t value something and having the alpha value something, what is the stress produced in this bar? So don't try to calculate or don't do the wrong thing. Just read the question. They have written freely moving bar. So freely moving bar means there is no sigma because it is freely moving. So there is no any external forces are applying on that. It is free. So in free there is no external force. So due to that the particular sigma will come 0. So this is my first case. I have calculated my delta value and my sigma value. Let us go for the second case. So what is my second case is? So let us say our second case. So the second case is fully fixed, or this can be as told as fully rigid bar. Rigid means both ends are fixed. So I have a bar which both ends are fixed. So let us discuss that case. So this is a bar. In this bar, both ends are fixed. So let us say this is fixed, and this particular side is also fixed. And the length, having the length, how much? So the bar having the length L and both ends are fixed. So let us say I will supply the heat Q. If I supplied the heat Q, what will happen in this bar? The temperature will change. So delta T will be there. If delta T I am getting, definitely due to delta T, the particular length will increase. But the length will not increase. Why not it is increasing? Because both ends are fixed. Both ends are fixed, so length cannot. Both ends are fixed. Both ends are fixed. So there is no change in length. Or no expansion. So expansion is not possible because both ends are fixed. If this bar trying to be come outside, because due to heat I am providing and that delta T I am providing is temperature is changing, definitely this bar going to be expand. But it is not expanding because this particular fixed end is going to be give me the force in these two directions. So from here it is very clear. That total expansion that is taken as expansion is considered as a delta is equal to 0. Very clear. Either I can say delta net is equal to 0. Yes. Is it 0? Why? Because in the case it is very clear that both ends are fixed, so it cannot move from that side also, that side also. Now I need to be calculate the stress for this, as there is no any kind of expansion in this, there is no any kind of change in length, but definitely stress will be there. Why? Because we are giving now resistant force. This is your resistant force. If I am providing the resistant force, then definitely I will get the stress. Now I want to know what is the stress here due to this thermal heat, or this is due to this change in temperature. So what is my stress is going to calculate? So let us calculate the stress. So how I am going to calculate the stress? So first of all, I am going to be divide this particular diagram into two. So first I am going to be consider. So first I am going to be consider the diagram for free expansion. So first I am going to consider this diagram for free expansion. So for free expansion, I know that for free expansion, if this diagram is, or if this bar is free, then for free expansion I know my delta value. Delta is equal to how much? That already we calculated in the last, that is the alpha delta T into L. This is my free expansion. And for expansion, or either you can say for extension due to external force. So I already told you, if already we have discussed this already, if particular extension is coming due to this force P, I mean this case is something like this. So due to this what will happen? So due to this the particular force, that this is applying the force. So due to this force my delta is what? How much? Due to this my delta is PL divided by A. This is my delta value. Already we discussed this in strength of material earlier classes, that how this delta can, already we discussed in the horizontal direction when the particular force applied in a bar, then we are going to get our expansion or extension delta is equal to PL divided by A. So I got my these two values. Now what I need to do, this two is combinedly making this. So this 2 means this delta 1, maybe this is delta 1, this is the delta 2. So this delta 1 and this delta 1 plus delta 2 is equal to 0. Am I right? This delta 1 and delta 2 should be 0. Why 0? Either if I don't want to write 0, then I can say delta 1 and delta 2 is equal to delta net or total delta. Am I right from that? But total delta already I got that is the 0. So if I will put here, so if I will put delta value, then it is going to be delta is equal to 0. Am I right? So up to here it is clear. Now one thing I want to tell here is that you see in the diagram here, what type of the force is it acting? This is the compressive force, and all of you know that the compressive force, the particular compressive force will give you the result of negative. So definitely this particular delta value will come here negative. So I am going to write here the delta 1 minus delta 2. Am I right? So similarly here I am going to write delta 1 minus delta 2, because delta 1 already you know, tension force is tension, that is going to give you the positive, and compression, as all of you know, compression is going to give you negative. And what is the signs? The compression will act inward direction and the tension will act as a outward direction. So here in the figure you can see that the particular force is acting inward direction to control this expansion. That's why the force is acting in inward direction. So definitely it is going to give me the minus deflection, minus expansion. So from here I will put delta 1 and delta 2 value. What I am going to get is delta PL minus PL divided by A. So my dear friends, now it is going to be solved now. So from here what you going to be know? So from here we know that this P divided by AE, this P divided by A is how much? This P divided by A is equal to sigma. So I know that because sigma is equal to force divided by per unit area. So from here I can replace the value. So let us solve this out. So while I will solve this out, what I am going to get is, so I am going to get from here sigma is equal to, so this you can take the terms that hand side. So I am going to get sigma is equal to, so that will be alpha T L divided by, and that is going to be, L is going to come down, so this will be multiplied by E and this will be L. So L will be cancelled, so I am going to get sigma alpha delta T E. So this is the result I am going to get. And what is this? What is this particularly sigma? This is coming due to the thermal expansion. So I can say that sigma T. Sigma T means thermal stress. Thermal stress. For which case? For fully rigid body or bar. Right? So this is the all. So in this particular case, what we got? In this particular case, we got delta is equal to 0 and sigma is equal to this. So in the last case, we got sigma 0 and we got the delta value, but here we got delta 0 and sigma T value is this. So let us move for my third case. So what is my third case? Let us see. So my third case is, so let us see my third case. So my third case is, so my third case is partially rigid body or partially rigid bar. So what is the meaning of partially rigid bar? Let us see. So let us see here. So let us see here. So one end is fixed, as you can see, and in the other end you can see this other end is fixed but at some distance. So at some distance means in the middle they have given the gap. Now my dear friends, why I am discussing this case? Because this is related to the civil practical work. So how it is related to civil practical work? You all have seen the railway tracks. So in the railway tracks, if you have seen carefully, the railway girders are something like this. You can see that the railway girders are something like this. They are something like this, and in middle they have given some gap again, and after that they are giving again. So why they have given this gap in middle? So the answer is that they have given this gap in middle because when the particular, there will be a change in temperature, then this particular bar or this particular steel girder will increase or expand. This will be expand. So this will expand due to delta T. If it will be expand, that's why they have given the gap. If in case it will expand, then it will be reached to here and no stresses will produce. If stresses will produce in this, what will happen? If the stress will produce, for example, if there is no gap here, for example, if they will not provide any gap here and they will directly provide one continuous girder only, so what will happen in this continuous girder? Both ends are fixed. So this will be like type of both ends are fixed. This both ends are fixed. No gap is there. So what will happen in this both end fixed? You already calculated. Sigma t will come. How much it will come? It will come something delta TLE. So what will this sigma t will do? When the particular stress will be generated, definitely this particular rail track will deflect in some other way. So the alignment of this particular railway track will be unsymmetrical. So if it is not symmetrical, what will be going to happen? This particular railway track, particular rail or the train will be out of track. So what will happen? There will be a major. So this is the engineering that we have discussed over the railway tracks, how the railway tracks are, they are going to be laid down and how and why, for which purpose they have given the gap. So my dear friends, in these gaps are very important for the railway tracks. They already calculated that how much particular this length can increase for the average temperature. So average temperature, for example, in India we will talk, then it is like around 50. So for 50 temperature, how much it can increase? So for 50, this particular steel can be increased as much this, not more than. This is our calculation, right? So let us discuss this case. So in this case, you can see that we have the delta already. They have given us some few distance that is covers under the delta, and we have the length here. So we have the length here. How much length is? That is the L, right? So we all know that now. In this case, we have to calculate the delta as well, and we have to calculate the sigma as well. So let us say here. So this is again going to become two cases. So first case is the free expansion case. If there will be a free expansion, what will happen in the free expansion? This particular bar, due to the delta T, I have supplied the heat Q, and this heat will be give you the delta T. So due to this delta T, what will happen? This particular bar, I am talking about the free expansion, free moving. There is no this particular this constraint. So if this constraint is not there, then definitely this bar will be moved something like this. And we already know that for free expansion, what is my delta value? For free expansion, my delta value is how much? Delta value is equal to delta TL. This is my free expansion. Am I right? So this is my free expansion. So for free expansion, already I know that I am going to get the delta value. How much? Delta is equal to alpha TL. Right? Now, but the thing is that it is not going to be moved up to this particular length. Why? Because in middle only I have provided the fixed support. So in this fixed support means it will not allow this material to expand after this limit. So you can say that it will not allow your material to expand after this or up to this limit. So it will not allow your material to expand after this. So what is that meaning? So this meaning is that it will be constrained up to here. So my next case is for both ends are fixed. If both ends are fixed, then what is my delta? So we all know that if both ends are fixed, then there will be a force will be applied in the both side. That will be the P, and that will be give me the delta value. How much? Delta is equal to how much it will be give me delta? PL divided by A, right? So I got my delta value as well in this. So my dear friends, now I want to be say the thing is, now my this delta is how much? My this delta is equal to this minus this. Am I right? So let us say my delta is equal to my this delta is equal to delta due to free expansion. Delta due to free expansion is how much? Delta due to, and this delta is coming negative because again the compression force is there. Compression is there, so definitely this will become as a negative. So it will be I will keep it as a negative. So what will happen over here? I will keep here the alpha delta TL minus PL divided by A. Getting my point? And again you know that P divided by AE. Again you know that P divided by AE. How much P divided by AE? P divided by AE is equal to sigma. So from here I can calculate. So from here I will calculate that delta is equal to alpha delta TL minus sigma LE. And if I will solve it more, then I am going to get from here sigma. I need to calculate the sigma. Sigma T is equal to how much? Alpha delta TL minus this will become here minus, this is over here plus, this is the minus over here, so this is going to turn that side, so it is going to be delta divided by over L, and this is, am I right up to here? So yes, so this is going to be work for me, and I am going to get the result from here. So let us say, the particular important feature to be. This is very important. So I am getting in this case both the values. I am getting the delta as well, and I am getting the sigma T as well. And this case is for partially rigid. Getting my point? So this is my three cases that I have discussed. Now we will discuss one numerical on the basis of this particular all conditions. So let us see one numerical. Based on this lecture.